revealed within our genes, or the God that's going to be revealed in all of us. It's going to be a God that's going to be revealed, in everybody in this room. Because we are the temple of God. God stated, know that ye are the temple of God. But a lot of times we get caught up in thinking we're something other than who it is we truly are. Like the names that we get given when we were born. Our personalities, like the jobs, or just these things we identify with. Like we identify with so many other things other than being the temple of God. And we do. And this is who we truly are, as the temple of God. So this information is about bringing us back to that awareness of ourselves. And so we all done seen this symbol, right? Can somebody raise their hand and tell them what this symbol means? If you know, this is the medical symbol. But can anybody tell me what this medical symbol means? If you can, I give you a minute to do so. What does this have to do with being healthy? Like, why is this a symbol that is used in America to represent being healthy? Like what does this have to do with being healthy? And see, that further explains why in the Bible God said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And the fact that we don't understand what this symbol means, they give us this symbol on our medicine bottles. We jump in the ambulance. That's what's on the back of the ambulance. Like when you go in the hospital, like this is the symbol. And so they'll show you that symbol, but they don't explain the symbol to you. And so by you not understanding what that symbol means, you will bypass that symbol and walk into the hospital and suffer when you get in there. And suffer when you get in there because the hospital is not designed. The hospital don't care about you being healthy. Because if they cared about you being healthy, then they wouldn't create all these drugs with so many side effects. They most times do more damage than they do good. Like we all see the commercials. They run off like 20 different side effects with somebody running through a field smiling while they're telling you, while you're taking this medicine, your ears might fall off or something. Or your toenails might fall off. Or one eye might turn one color, the other eye might turn another color. But somebody running through a metal somewhere happy. Like when they're running off all of these side effects, and a lot of these side effects, they tell you on this commercial is death. Like you're giving me a medicine that's supposed to be treating me with one issue I'm dealing with, but you tell me while I'm taking this to treat whatever I need to be treated, I might die from a side effect of the medicine. This is not of God. Like God is not the author of confusion, y'all. Confusion, like the medical system has put us in a place of confusion. If it wasn't that, then we wouldn't be sick and suffering like we are here in America, being sick. And so we're gonna go further into this, but this is where that symbol comes from. Like if you do the history of the reason why they chose that symbol to represent health, then it will come back to DNA. And these wings on the side is representative of divinity or God. Like in God's word, he said, be wise as a serpent. Like what kind of wisdom that we're supposed to have is the wisdom of God. Like when a person really walks around with the wisdom, identifying themselves as the temple of God, like when a person truly understands that, it's no disease that can come against them. And this is why that symbol is the symbol of what it means to be healthy. That means we must become divine beings. When we become divine beings, there's no sickness that can come against us. And this is what we have to know about this symbol. And so I'm going to start talking a little bit about my journey as I calm down. I'm going to start talking a little bit about my journey. About 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with a medical condition called aplastic anemia. And what aplastic anemia is when your bone marrow just stops working. Your bone marrow just shuts down. Like, your bone marrow is what produces red blood cells. And so my body wasn't producing any blood at all. By the time I found out what was going on with me, I had less than half of the blood in my body that I was supposed to have. I mean, I could have had a massive heart attack, a stroke, or just anything at any time. Only thing I knew is that as I was working at my job, I think, hey, this is my brother Avery. Like, he was working at my job too, you know what I'm saying? But at my job, I just started noticing when I was doing the most simplest things, I would run out of breath. Like, my heart would start racing, pounding. I get dizzy. I get so dizzy, I have to sit down, like, thinking I'm getting ready to pass out. But then it would stop. And then one day I was at work.
Miss Shirley already knows they're supposed to be bringing me lots of people don't have no issues.
Okay.
So my boyfriend's in federal check right now. He's gonna come by and bring my plastic in.
Okay.
I just want to let you know so you didn't get nervous when you see him.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Amber.
Because of how I'm feeling. Like, I know this ain't nothing simple. And so they come and they draw my blood and they go back and they run whatever test that they had to run. They came back. The doctor, I remember the doctor ran up in that room and kind of like, what's going on with your blood? Like, what you talking about? It was like, well, you got less than half the blood in your body that you're supposed to have. You got to have a blood transfusion right now. And I remember in that moment, like, the fear of like death just came over me. Like, I remember being in a severe place of panic and being afraid because just wondering, like, you know what I'm saying, like, what was next for me in my life, like, what was to come. And so I go, they take me, and they put me in this room, preparing me for my blood transfusion. And so while I'm sitting there waiting, and, you know, and at this time, I'm there all alone, like, no family is there. And I'm sitting there waiting, and they're hooking me up, and they go get these bags of blood, and I'm laying there. But by the time my Aunt Gladys got there, my Aunt Gladys was the first one to show up. She had came. And I'm laying in that room, and they hook me up to this blood, and I'm sitting there in my mind just wondering, like, whose blood is this coming down into my body, just in a place of at all, like, of the situation that I was in. Like, how can this be my life? Like you never know, like, until something happens to you, you don't think it's gonna happen to you. Like, I never thought I would find myself in that place now. You know what I'm saying? Getting a blood transfusion, somebody else's blood that I don't know. But when I found myself in that space, all I could do was break down and cry. I remember just breaking down and cry like a little baby as I'm watching that blood come down to enter into my body. Like, not knowing whose blood that is, but also being in that situation. And so I went through that, and of course they admitted me. They thought I had leukemia. I didn't have leukemia, but it came back that I had the aplastic anemia. And then I go on this journey of, you know, a treatment that they had in place for me in order to remedy the situation. And so I wound up being a patient at Chapel Hill. I was a patient at Chapel Hill. I had to do the chemotherapy. I probably didn't have like 20 blood transfusions. I had to go through surgery. And I remember the first night that when my chemotherapy started. The feeling of that, like, it's poison going into your body. Like, when you can feel the body dying. You know, chemotherapy is designed to kill off all the blood cells. And so you just land there, and you actually feel the body shutting down and dying. And I remember being in that place just crying too, like of unbelief. And I remember the next morning I had to get up and go through a surgery. So where they had to run a tube down my neck, down through, like, and place it over top of my heart. Like, I had to go through that. And I remember being rolled into surgery that day. I know my mom and my dad walked me there, but it was on that journey, it reached a point where they couldn't go no further. It was just me, you know what I'm saying? Just being in that space. I had never had no surgery or anything before, you know what I'm saying? So being in that place, I'm in like in this euphoric place of that I'm even experiencing this in my life, like in a place of severe disbelief. Like, how can I be going through this? Like, this is me. Like, how can I be going through this? But this is what my experience was. Like, this is what my life was. And so I remember going through that surgery, coming out of that, and of course all of my family was there. And a long story short, I went through all of this treatment, waking up having to take 20 pills every day. My mom had a little pill, you know, a little long thing like that long, and you little containers in it, you just drop pills all the way down for each day. Each one of my days was to the brink, you know what I mean? Like, each day I had to wake up and take about 18 pills, along with having to wear a face mask because my immune system was so compromised, like any little virus or little bacteria could have killed. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't really ride in cars like that because my platelets were like with aplastic anemia, bone marrow, like your platelets and everything deal with that. Like, and so platelets is what allows the body to clot. Like, if you get cut, instead of you continuously bleeding, the platelets is what stops the bleeding. And so I didn't have no platelets in my body. And so I couldn't ride in a car or nothing like that because if I got in an accident, it was going to be a wrap if I'm hurt enough to bleed. And so just going through all of this, I remember one morning, then my mom was in the hospital when they overdosed me, gave me too much of a dose of a certain medicine, one of the medicine out of the 20 that I had to take. And I remember that they overdosed me on. Like, they made my doses of it too high. And I remember that night, laying in bed at home, and I woke up to just my whole body convulsing, like pain, like the muscles just convulsing. I couldn't even move. All I could do was grab my phone and call my dad. My dad came over, and he had to pick me up, took me to the car, take me to the hospital. My mom met me there. But I know she remembers how I was screaming in the hospital that day. Like I was screaming so much, so loud in that hospital that the nurses and stuff was aggravated. It was aggravated. But that's how much pain I was in. It was excruciating pain. Like, and I remember I was in so much pain, I was begging for morphine, right, Mom? I was begging for morphine, like, please just give me a shot of morphine because I couldn't take the pain that no more. And like, it was coming in waves. It'd give me like a minute or two, you know what I mean, where, you know, the convulsing was going on, but then, you know what I mean, we're coming right back. So I was going through waves of it. And I remember how I had to deal with that for like an hour and a half until they gave me the morphine shot. And so, jumping further, all this that I went through, like all of this misery, like this hell that I went through in this hospital, and at the end of that, the treatment still didn't work. Like I've been through all of that, all of these medicines, surgeries, everything that I have been through, and at the end of that, they said that it still didn't work. So they was preparing me for death. My doctors used to come in there and try to prepare me for the quality of life versus the quantity of life. It was like, look, you need to enjoy the rest of the life that you have left. You know what I'm saying? And so they gave me 18 months to live, and after they told me that, I made the decision to leave their care and to start the journey of like natural healing. This is when we get really get into this information, like this journey of natural healing. And so when I told the doctors that I wasn't gonna, that I was leaving their care, that me and my wife was gonna pursue an alternative healing, and that 18 months was cut down to 4 months. And so instead of them saying that I had 18 months to live, that was cut all the way down to 4 months. And I remember calling my mom and telling my mom about it. And I know she remembered too, you know what I'm saying, my decision of leaving, you know, my doctor's care. Putting myself in, you know, like under God's care. And you know, I was telling my mom about that decision. You know, of course your parents is going to be kind of nervous at first because like I'm her son, like she wants me to do what's best, like she want me to do like what would be most beneficial for my life, like me being here. And you know, most of us think that's Western medicine. But because of me having the courage and listening to God enough to walk away from Western medicine is the reason why I'm still here. If I had stayed in the Western medicine, I'd be dead. Because they wanted me to go right back through the same treatment that I just came out of, but it wouldn't have been as effective as it was the first time because it was the second time that I was going through, but the first time wasn't effective either. And so they was preparing me like, look, like you need to get ready to die, like you're getting ready to die. So, and when I made the decision, and my wife made the decision to leave and pursue alternative medicine like this with God, like with the help and the guidance of God, this is how I was able to find healing into my life, in my life. Disease, we get ready to go. Like, look at disease, right? You look at disease, most people look at disease as one word. But disease, the word disease is a combination of 2 words. What are those 2 words? Dis and ease. What does dis mean? Like, you dislocate something, or you disloyal, like, dis is a prefix. What does this mean? This means not, so to speak. This means not. So the word that they have given us to describe being sick is the combination of the word dis and ease. In other words, your body was designed to be at ease, but you won't let it be. Your body was designed for peace, but you won't give your body peace. The foods and the things we put in our body, it cause chaos when they enter into our body. Disease or dis-ease is a result of it. Like the dis-ease that happens as a response to that is your body saying, like, what are you doing? What are y'all doing? Like, what are you putting in me? Like, why are you stressing me out? Your body is saying, I was designed for peace, but you won't give me peace. You're giving me a dis-ease, like you're taking my peace away from what you're putting inside of your body. And that's what you need to know about the word disease. So when the doctor comes and tells you you have a disease, know that doctor is telling you that you don't have peace in your life. You don't have peace in your life. And whatever symptom that comes because of that is only a symptom of the fact that you are not at peace. Even in the Bible, God said, like, we're supposed to have a peace that surpasses all understanding. peace in the midst of storm, things like that. But because we don't have that peace, sickness exists because we're not at peace. Okay, let's get into the most deadliest diseases. Heart disease, high blood pressure, cholesterol, that's number one. Cholesterol, and they say 7.25 million people. Someone dies every 43 seconds from heart disease. Now, as we listen to this, be thinking whether or not this is of God. Be thinking whether or not this is of God. Stroke, high blood pressure. 1 American dies from a stroke every 4 minutes. Every 4 minutes, somebody is dying from a stroke. Cancer is the second leading cause of disease. 1 out of 4 people die from cancer. 1 out of 4 people will die from cancer. Second leading cause of death of children of ages 5 to 15. Like, how can that even be a 5-year-old child? Like, I remember, like, we used to think it was older people that got sick, that got heart diseases and the cancers and things like that. This is a 5-year-old child. Like, children are dying from cancer. Like, what's responsible for all this sickness? This is a plague in America. Sickness is a plague in America. Disease is plaguing America. It's coming for our babies now. Like, what's next? I mean, I ain't even gonna say what's next. A lot of babies be sick in their mother's stomach. Before they even get here, they already sick. And they born with conditions. Go ahead, man. Diabetes. 86 million adults, 20 and older, 1 out of 3 adults are diagnosed with pre-diabetes. 15 to 30% will be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes within 5 years. This is just saying how each year this increases. It's getting worse and it's getting worse. Like, where is this taking us to? Like, if we stay on this road right here, that's causing all of this sickness and disease, where is this road taking us to? It don't sound like we're headed in a minute. If you have to, it don't sound like this is a condition that shows the people that's on the way to heaven. It don't show that to me. Go ahead and now, let's get into this. Now, because most of us put our health in our doctor's hands. If something go wrong, we run to our doctor, to the medical system. Well, what do we know about the medical system? Doctors and drugs. Do we know that the drugs that our doctor prescribed for us, these drugs are not prescribed to us because of their ability to make us healthy, to make the condition better, or to make us well. These drugs are being prescribed to us because pharmaceuticals are paying doctors now, in order for them to buy their drug or utilize. So this is not about you being healthy. This is about money. Like, when they look at you, they don't see a patient. They see dollar signs. This is all about money. And that's why all of these diseases come with side effects, because they hoping one of these other side effects happen. They're trying to keep the money coming. It's not about you being healthy. This Western medical system is not about anybody in here being healthy. It's about keeping people sick, because the money is not in health. The money is in sickness and disease. In this pharmaceutical industry, this is a business. This is a business. So they're in the business of making money. So when they see us, they don't see a person. They see dollar signs. Like, this is where my next bonus is coming from, or my next vacation is coming from. Yeah. That's how they looking at us. And we have to understand this, because we put our trust in this medical system. That's crazy. Go ahead, Mom. Death from RX, the new epidemic sweeping across America. It said death by medicine is a 21st century epidemic, and America's war on drugs is clearly directed at the wrong end. And what they tell you, it's not the brothers that's on the corner.
Right.
It's not them. That's not the drug dealer. It's the drug stores that we go to get these prescriptions. That's the drug dealer. That's who the war on drugs should be against, not us. And so this is what this article is talking about. Like, look, y'all are putting y'all energy at the wrong drug dealer. The war on drugs is aimed at the wrong person, the wrong people. Wait a minute. It said prescription drugs are now killing far more people than illegal drugs. An analysis of recently released data from the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, by Los Angeles Times Review. 37,048 people died from drugs at a rate fueled on overdose, prescription pain, and anxiety medication. Go ahead, Mike. Formageddon is upon us. Not Armageddon, but Formageddon is upon us. Right? Formageddon is the prospect of a world in which medicine produce more ill health than health. And so, in other words, the medicines that we use are doing you more harm than doing you good. Okay? It says, and when medical progress does more harm than good, okay? It is no longer a prospect but fully upon us. The analysis revealed the death toll is highest amongst people in their 40s, but all ages, from teenagers to the elderly, and all walks of life are being affected. In fact, prescription drugs are now the preferred high for many, especially teens, as they typically use illegally, which eliminates the stigma of being a junkie. So in other words, they're saying that the drugs that our youth is choosing to get high on now, they're not getting off the street. They're getting them from their doctors. They're getting them from their doctors. And it's not being looked at as them being junkies because from the fact they're getting them from their doctors. You know what I'm saying? But these drugs, this pharmaceutical medicine is turning people into junkies. Like we see them every day. We see it every day. Like people are more dependent on the pills and stuff that they have that they get from their doctor. They're more dependent on that than they are, you know what I'm saying, for like fresh foods and things that we should be putting in our body that will produce health. But we are dependent and addicted to these drugs, and this is why they make these drugs addictive. I remember when I was going through my sickness, they gave me a big bottle of oxy, one of them pain pills. Now I just found myself taking the pills when I won't even have no pain or nothing like that, because my body was literally getting addicted to them. Like, but this is what these medicines are designed to do, because they need to keep you coming back that money, and that's what it's about, just that money. And so this is what we have to understand. Like, this medical system has nothing to do with you being healthy, but this is all about money in somebody's pocket. Diet. I want us to look at this, because this is the word that we use to describe the food that we take in. But what's the root word of the word diet? What's the base word? Diet. In other words, if you don't get this right, 9 times out of 10, this will be how you die. It's so important. The base word of diet is die. Now, you got other ways people die, you know what I'm saying, accidents and things like that. But this is how important what you put into your body is. Like, if we don't get this right, this will be how you die. This is where the cancer is coming from, the diabetes is coming from, the strokes, all of these things is what we're putting in our bodies. And so we have to understand how important what we put in our bodies is. Like, it's literally life or death. When you sit down at that table, that's how you got to be thinking. Life or death. Choose. And so this is what disease causing food. Everybody can take a look. This ain't all of them. Disease causing foods right now. You see them, like, you pop that Coca-Cola off, and you gonna hit drinking acid. This right here, all these sugars, and this is death food. This is death food. So look at this food right here. And just think how much of a part these type of foods are in the average person's diet. You're gonna see them 2 liters. You know what I'm saying? People's house, you're gonna see them like, this is the food that we eat. This is the food that we have been taught and trained to eat right now. Dead food. Go ahead, man. Dead food. What is dead food? Dead foods have a long shelf life. I remember my cousin Tony was telling me about how he went and did an experiment when he bought this this burger from one of these fast food restaurants. He bought it for the purpose. He bought it for the purpose of this experiment right here. And I remember he said he put the burger on the plate and just set it on the dressing table. Forgot about it. So it came out like 2 or 3 months later, and the burger looked exactly the same. Like, you know, so that lets you know, like, this is not real food. Like, this food right here is not real food. And so it has a long shelf life. Dead foods are toxic, fermented. Dead foods are mucus and acid forming. Dead foods have living material extracted, no life. Dead foods have no elements needed for digestion. In other words, this food right here is not food at all. This right here is laboratory generated food, something that we should never put into our body. And the fact that we put these foods in our body is where all of these sicknesses and diseases are coming from. Go ahead. Genetically modified food are man-made foods modified on a genetic level with plants and animal genes, causes genetic defects within the human body. So that's saying right there, like whenever you eat this food is disrupting you, it's changing you on a genetic level. On a genetic level, like it's altering your genetics. This is what this food do. So they can, through the food that you eat, they can transform you into something totally other than what God created you to be, through the food that you put in your body. And we got to understand how serious this is. It says does not assimilate to the body, does have a toxic effect, like eating plastic. So they're saying you might as well be eating plastic when you eat most of this food. You might as well be eating plastic. Like this is real, like this is what we need to know, because these are the things that causes us to be sick, and then we run to a medical system that is not concerned about you being sick, but they're excited because they see more money coming. Because they see more money coming. We got to understand how this works. Weather resistant, insect resistant food. You know how you can drop some of this food on the ground and the ants will go around. The ants don't even want to eat. It's not food. It's not food. Go ahead, Mike. This is food. I just want to throw that up. Remember, we were just talking about dead food. The reason why this is food, but this is live food. This food has life in it. This food is alive. This is what God designed for us to be eating. Food that has life in it. Because when you eat food that has life in it, what are you bringing into your body? You're bringing life into your body. But when you eat dead food, because we all know we are what you eat. So we are eating a bunch of dead foods. What do we communicate to our body? We want to die. You communicate that to your body, and then your body says, okay, come on, cancer. Come on, diabetes, this person want to die, so let's go ahead on and make that happen for them. And like, this is what these diseases are. Is your body just carrying out the information that you're given to it. That's it. You are what you eat. Like what food is, y'all. We eat food, right? The body breaks the food down. It's called digestion in order to get the life out of the food. That's it. So, and whatever that the body doesn't need, it discards. You know what I'm saying? And so the reason why we eat food is to get the life out of it. So you eat food that has no life in it, and so you eat that food, and in the digestion process, the body is like, where's the life? Where's the life? Where's the life? It is no life, so the body wants to live. Because it's searching for the life, and it ain't there. And then this is when the diseases come. Your body starts obliging you. Okay, you want to die? Let's die. Go ahead. Electric foods. Electric foods are alkaline foods which helps the body to heal and nourish itself. Alkaline foods have a pH of 7.0 and above. Electric foods are found in nature. They are non-hybrid, genetically modified, and they are irradiated. Irradiated. Here we go. And so, in other words, these foods have life in it. And so when you eat these foods, that's what's going to happen with the body. Instead of the body getting sick, the body's going to start getting healthy and healthy. Because you're giving the body what it needs. And like you're giving the body the life that the body is designed to search for. Like we're here to experience life. And we got to understand as it relates to the food that we eat. Like when we sit down at that dinner table, that is to experience life and not death. But the problem is at this dinner table, we're experiencing death. But God say this day choose. Life or death. We've got to understand when you sit down at that table, that's what you're doing. You're choosing life or death. Go ahead, man. And so, still some more information about live food. But why do we think like that? Like, why we don't understand this? Like, what is it about us that we can't comprehend how important it is for, how important the food that we put in our body is? It's something going on inside of us, because like these are things that we should easily understand. And so what I'm going to do now is take y'all so-called to say under your own hood, because the body is only a vehicle of the soul and of the spirit. But most people know more about so many other things, but if you ask them about themselves, they can't really tell you. And so you really look into the brain and see why people are acting the way they are. And so the brain has 4 different chambers. The 4 different chambers of the brain. It's the R complex, the limbic, the cortex, and the prefrontal lobe. Y'all let me explain this because this is key and understanding how we behave, the way we behave, not only with food, just in life in general. Go ahead, Mom. And so this is the reptilian part of the brain. That's what the R complex. Y'all ever heard of the R complex portion of the brain? All right. And so, yeah. And so if you look it up, you know, the different chambers of the brain, this is one of them. And it's the reptilian portion of the brain. It says it makes up inside and function of the entirety of the brain in reptile, fish, and most birds. It influences human behavior in the same manner of reptile. Survival without any awareness, morality, and interest of others or consequences of the future state. In other words, because this brain is in operation within us too, but it's just a small portion of our brain. And in reptiles, it makes up the entirety of the reptilian brain. That's why they're so instinctive. If you get out of line, they ain't thinking, they strike. You know what I'm saying? And so this is a portion of our brain too. That's there. That if we don't understand it, this portion, which is the smallest part of our brain, can take on the entirety of the actions that we take, or the majority of the actions that we take. If we're not aware of this aspect of our own making, like this is how the Creator designed us. But most people don't even understand how the Creator designed us. And that's why, if you don't understand how the Creator designed you, how do we truly know that we are living a life that's pleasing to the Creator? Like, how do we know that? Like, how can we truly know a Creator when we don't even know ourselves? Like, we know so much about so many other things. I can take my car and drop it off on Uncle Connie. He can write it down the road. But this what's going on with it. I can tell, boom, 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 boom. But can you do that about yourself? Can you do that about yourself? This is our vehicle. This is the vehicle of God. And the fact that we know nothing of it is the reason why this medical system can take advantage of us the way that they do. They're taking advantage of our ignorance of our own self. Period. And this is what we have to correct. It's the ignorance of our own being. Like, this is what we're supposed to understand. This is us. This is your vehicle. Why you don't know? Why you don't understand it? Why you don't understand how we operate? Why you don't understand what it takes for it to be healthy or what makes it unhealthy? You got to understand these things to be pleasing to God. Go ahead, man. And so that was the reptilian portion of the brain. It's the instinctive portion of our self. And then you have the limbic portion of your brain. The mal, say that word for me now. That's what I always straight. There you go. Say it again. Mammalian brain is chiefly responsible for the behavior characteristics of mammals. It's responsible for social cohesiveness, emotional responses, and bonding. Like in nature, you'll see animals that run in packs, like wolves and dogs, like the different ones that you see live like more community-like in packs. Like even with us, like the people that you hang with, yourself, that's the portion of the brain that allows us to move in that kind of way, in the way that we want to move with others, or have others around us, emotional bond, caring about someone else, we want to spend time with that person, and even move forward with that person. This is the portion of the brain that is responsible for it. And so, like I said, this is the behavior you see in animals, and well, it's us that run in packs. Okay? And so this is a portion of our brain. This is the limbic portion of our brain. Well, this is a smaller portion of our brain. This is the entire brain of animals like wolves and dogs that run in packs and things like that. Go ahead. And we're going to see how this is an issue. And then you have the cortex. This is the portion of the brain that we as humans, that God designed us to operate majority from. It's the cortex portion of our brain. And so the cortex brain, it dominates in humans. Program that enables language, reasoning, the ability to create, and symbology, able to look into the future to make predictions, forecasts, anticipate expectations. And so, in other words, in humans, we have the ability to reason, to sit down and have foresight, insight before we take an action. before we make a decision. This is the portion of the brain that's supposed to be dominant in us. But the problem is, I just use eating for example. This is not the portion of the brain that's dominant in us. This is the portion of the brain that's dominant in us when it comes to eating, because we see something and instinctively we just eat. We don't even think. We don't even think. We just see it, want it, we don't even think. I want it, and then you just eat. So we're acting like an animal. We're behaving like animals. Like, we got to understand this. And then emotional eating, like, you know how I say, a woman, how they always say, like, a man leave a woman, you know, depressed, you get the ice cream and this whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that the way that we have emotional bonds to food, but we got to understand, like, this is like, these are all the lower brains, or the animal brains, like the parts of the brains is most dominant in animals. But God created us to have reason and insight, because in God's kingdom, God created everything that we see. But God said we are his greatest creation. We're supposed to be coming here. When we walk into that grocery store, when we pick that food up, we're supposed to be analyzing, okay, nah, if I eat this, they said this has this in it, if I put this in my body, it's gonna fit. This is how we're supposed to be thinking when it comes to food. We're supposed to be analyzing and reasoning how what we're getting ready to consume is going to affect us. But the problem is we don't do that. We either see, riding down the road, see that McDonald's, we just whip in and stick it. We don't even think. You know what I'm saying? And the emotional eating, the way we feel, drives us to eat certain kind of food. These are all the animal portions of who we are. But we are not the animal. We are God's divine creation. God designed us to, even though these things do play a part in our lives, but this is the portion of our brain that's supposed to be dominant. This is what we're supposed to be in. But we have failed here. The fall of man, I ain't going to get into that. But we have failed. And so the point that I'm proving with this is that our eating has become animalistic. Period. Our eating has become animalistic. Go ahead, Mom. And so the fourth portion of the brain is the prefrontal lobe. This is the place of spiritual awareness, morality, peace of mind, processing. Well, the truth has been processed and understood so much. And so to say, so this portion of the brain, God designed that to where, like, after we reason about things like this, even this reality, but we just want to stick with food. We have the ability to reason about the food that we ate and then extract a truth out of that reason that will allow us to dwell in a place of peace within our own self. Y'all understand that? But we don't go through the reasoning process. We don't go through the reasoning process because most of us are stuck in that animalistic place when it comes to eating. Like I say, it's not just eating, but this class right here is on eating. So I'm just using it as that example. But the ability of us that we have, that God gave us to reason, and to have foresight and insight, was designed to have us in a place of inner peace within our own being. Because we should be making the proper decisions as it relates to something like food. We should know that we shouldn't be feeding ourselves a bunch of dead foods, because instead of peace, you're going to have disease. But we should have the intelligence and the insight enough to put the things in our body that will allow us to operate from this portion of our brain. Peace of mind. Because we know we're doing the right thing, especially when it comes to eating. We got to stop acting like animals, y'all. Like when it comes to the things that we put into our body. It's time for us to start thinking how these things affect us. Now, I just ran through what was at the top 4 or 5 diseases, and they say every one of those diseases that I named, the food that we eat is completely responsible for. The diabetes, the cancers, the stroke, it's the food that we're putting in our body because we're eating like animals. And then we wonder why we get sick. And then sickness has become so normal now. We talk to a person, I just went down to the doctor. What the doctor said, you said that, high blood, but it's normal, like normal conversation. What kind of pill they get? You just hear normal conversations going on about it. Like, this is not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is not the design of God. Like, God came that we might have life. This right here, when I'm explaining these diseases, it's not God is not behind this pharmaceutical industry. It's not God behind that. So if it's not God, who is it? You got to answer this question. If it's not God, who is it? Because are we running to God when we go into the hospital, or are we running into a devil? Answer, thankful. There you go. The devil. We went into the devil. This is not of God. It's not of God. Go ahead, Mom. And so this is how God designed for us to eat right here. God designed food in a way that when you looked at it, you understood the benefits of eating this food. This is a walnut. This is for the brain. Look at it. This is brain food. It said walnuts have a striking resemblance to the brain and are recognized as one of the ultimate brain foods. It said walnuts are great source of omega-3 and have more antioxidants, folic acid, vitamin D, and vitamin E than any other nut. So this nut right here was designed for the brain. Look at the wisdom of God. If you just come back to God, God has already laid the blueprint. It's the fact that we have walked away from the blueprint of God and we see so many sicknesses and diseases plaguing us in our community. That's all we see is sickness and disease everywhere because we have got out of line with God's plan. And we need to take that seriously when you go home and you sit at that dinner table. Is this God's will for my life before I put this in my mouth? All of us should ask that question. Is this God's will for my life?
I think I want some that. I didn't jump.
Okay.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's the whole concept.
No.
Okay. So even in the colors of the
I don't know what's going on. This must be what you want.
Yeah. I just want to show you different examples of how God designed things for us to understand like what these things were designed for. Avocado, because God is directing us in how to eat in order to keep our bodies healthy. Like food is supposed to be our medicine. Food is supposed to be our medicine, not these pharmaceuticals that we run to and get that we know is doing more damage than good. The real drug, when they say that the war on drugs has been placed in the wrong direction. You need to point the war on drugs to the pharmaceutical industry. Because we have walked away. Yeah, because we have walked away from God's creation. When we have stepped into our artificial creation. And now everything that we do now has become artificial. We eat artificial foods, that, you know what I mean, ain't real. We don't want to come outside under the artificial lights of the house. Like everything has become artificial. And we're suffering because of it. Like this is not how God designed us to live. This artificial way. God designed us to live in a natural way. So this is about getting back to nature. Because the answers for every illness and condition that we deal with lies within nature. Go ahead, Mike. And so this is the avocado. I'm sorry. And then this is the carrot. It says, it is clear that a sliced carrot resembles an eye. It even has patterns of radiating lines that look like the pupil in ours. Beta-carotene is what gives carrot their vibrant orange color. It helps maintain healthy eyesight and protects against muscular degeneration in the development of cataracts. Carrots, eye health, but we just run and we get these, because we don't understand how to keep our own self healthy. Like how nature is designed. If we live according to the creation that God designed for us to live in, the answers are all within. It's the fact that we don't deal with nature no more. Like we want everything fast food and everything artificial. Like we don't deal with that nature no more. And that's one of the biggest problems. I remember whenever we grew up on land. The pecans, the walnut, the plum trees, like all of that stuff. Like you just run right out there and get it. Like even the animals that we eat. I know people have issues with eating meat, but even back then we was growing our own meat. You can go bring the chicken neck right out there in the yard, or the cows. Now, imagine that fresh looking pack of chicken that you went to the grocery store. How long do you think that pack how long it took to get for that chicken to get to the grocery store? You think it's fresh out the farmyard somewhere? That chicken probably already a year old. I'm telling y'all, it's probably already a year or better old. And what they do is on the chicken's journey to the grocery store, because it has already rotten and died. And so what they do is they hit it with different chemicals. They kind of bring back the look of it being like it's alive, but it's really already been rotten a long time ago. And then we put these foods into our body, and then all these diseases result from it. And I ain't gonna say it's specifically because you eat a chicken I'm talking about it specifically because there ain't no life in that chicken that you're eating. There's no life in it. It's not fresh. It's old, rotten when we consume it, and it's killing us. So we have to get back to that kind of way, to my point in that. Like, we have to get back, I'm telling you, y'all, like, we're going to survive what's going on in this world as it relates to the way they're poisoning us, because that's what they're doing. We're going to have to get back to the land. We're going to have to get back to growing our own food like we used to, or you can go out there and you can cook, bring the chicken neck, and you can be healthy, live to be 100 years old still. But it's just the way that things are happening now, because we have been disconnected from the land. We don't want to go out there and do no garden no more. We just want to run to the grocery store. That's it. We don't want to take the time and be patient with our food and make sure we're growing high quality foods for us to consume and our children. That should be most important, because look at the direction it's going. Yeah, like this ain't getting no better. It's getting worse and worse. Each year they come with a new type of sickness or a new something being advertised. New form of the food is something to let you know the direction that this society is going in, this system is going in. It's not getting no better. It's getting worse. So if you're one of the ones that say, I'm just going to follow this trail and this journey that we're on in America, where do you think that's taking you to? What do you think that's guiding you to? Okay. Go ahead, man. Celery. A stalk of celery are good for, what it says, contain silicone, which is part of what gives bones their strength. Bones are 20% sodium, and so is celery. So this is an example of what bone food is, how the Creator was showing us how to eat. But we don't understand these things. By eating this food, these foods strengthen and nourish and keep the bone system within the body healthy. So this is like, these are the type of things that we should be consuming as it relates to us knowing ourselves and knowing the Creator and being in tune with the Creator's design for our life. And so we will know to eat celery, or not just celery, like this is just an example of the type of foods that strengthen our bone system. We have to know these things. We have to get back into the awareness of nature, God's creation. Like this is God's creation, y'all. This planet that we live on, this is God's design. God designed all of this. And the fact that we have got out of tune with God's design is why you see sickness and disease plaguing. Oh, that's right. But that's an example of the benefits of eating celery and why the Creator created celery in the first place. For bone health. Go ahead, man. Mushroom. A sliced mushroom is the shape. It is the shape and resembles an ear. Mushrooms are a good source of vitamin D, which is essential for preventing hearing loss. So this is an example of how we can protect our own hearing. It's through eating mushrooms. And like I said, this is not the only thing, but this is a great example of how we have to eat food that looks like the body. Because it looks like the body, because the Creator wants us to understand, eat this to assist yourself in this or that kind of way. And this is how we're supposed to be eating. A tomato. We all know tomatoes is good for the heart, right? Yeah. Y'all know that. It says tomatoes resemble the heart with its 4 chamber components. They are loaded with whatever that word is.
Lycopene.
There you go. Which has been referred to as a heart and blood food. The consumption of that lycopene has been proven to reduce the risk of heart disease. Tomatoes are a great source of vitamin C, which is crucial for heart health. So this is an example of the food that we're supposed to be eating as it relates to keeping our heart healthy. So we won't find ourselves laid up in a hospital suffering from heart disease because we don't understand how to keep the heart healthy. Like this is how we keep the heart healthy, by eating food that supports a healthy heart. Like it's all here within nature. It's all here. Like this is what we have to get back to. Like this is the understanding of ourselves that we have to have, because we have to be responsible for our own health, because they're not going to tell you what it takes to be healthy. Because it's not no money in you being healthy. It's the money is in you being sick. And so they're going to promote that. It's commercials around everywhere. Like you looking at TV, like all these food commercials rambling off and drug commercials rambling. It's to influence your behavior. It's to influence your behavior, to tempt you. That's what the devil does. It's tempt you. So you sit back at home all day and watch all these commercials of you being tempted to get to the point to where you take action now. Like what you have been tempted by on the TV, now you're going out and you want to be consuming these things, or you're partaking of these things because of the temptation. So we got to understand, we got to see the devil at work, y'all. The devil is busy every day right around us, and we got to understand his tactics to keep us sick and unhealthy. The devil don't want us to be healthy, and so we got to, and the reason why I keep saying that, because the way that we're living, the foods that we're eating, like what we consider medicine, like we have to get off of that road. Like that is not the road that's going to lead you to the kingdom of God. And I was asking my cousin Chris the other day, like, what do we think? We're going to make it to the gates of heaven, pulling our air machines behind us and with our pouches of, you know what I mean, medicine on our hip, talking about God, you know what I mean? I finally made it on here. Y'all think that's going to happen? God said, we are the temple of God, right? God said, if you defile the temple of God, what is he going to do? He's going to destroy it. What you think you're doing when we're sitting down eating all this dead food? Are you defiling the temple of God? Or we consider that something other than what God is talking about? That's not defiling the temple of God, even though us consuming these things is causing us suffering and pain. Diseases, all kinds of diseases that we're dealing with that we consider normal. Is that not coming from defiling the temple of God? So you don't think when you're eating, you don't think that according to whatever it is you are eating, if you're eating a bunch of dead foods, that you relate that to defiling the temple of God. Because God said, because of that, he would destroy you. And you sit back and you watch people being destroyed. They call it diseases. Watching people suffering and then dying. Destruction, being destroyed. Because of us defiling God's temple through what we put in. We got to understand it's that real. Like we have to think from a place of understanding that it's that real. Because most people are let it bypass right their mind, out of their mind, leave here and turn right into McDonald's. Because God don't mean that's defiling the temple. Because I'm eating this dead burger, there's not even meat. This is not defiling the temple of God. I can feed this to my children. This ain't what God means. But then you see all the death and destruction that comes from consuming these type of things. So the word is being fulfilled. If you defile the temple of God, you will be destroyed. Like we have to see the tricks of the devil, y'all. And I understand why the Bible says many have been called. Only a few shall be chosen. Only a few shall find the way. Or the road to destruction is broad. And the path that leads to the kingdom of God is straight and narrow. Few shall find. This right here, this sickness in America is broad. This is what's happening in dominance. We know that in America is the most universally diseased planet on earth. Do we understand that? That means there's no, they call these third world countries and stuff they talk about, right? They make you think that these countries are worse off than America. America, and what universally diseased planet or country means is that America has more diversity of diseases than any other place you can go on this planet. America is sick, suffering, and dying. As it relates to global health, guess what America is in? Last place. Last place. This is modern day Babylon, if y'all don't understand that. America is the place where anything, any temptation, any desire you got is right at your fingertips. You can do whatever in America. It's all good. This is the modern day Babylon, and God calls these people out of this kind of living, y'all. And so this is me showing you that we have to come out of that kind of living because we're reaping what we have already sown. And then we feel sorry for people. Like, of course, you see people dealing with cancer or heart disease, we feel sorry for these people. But do we understand that we're bringing these things onto our own self because of our own ignorance? Our own ignorance. And then, yes, so go ahead, man. Ginger. It says ginger looks like the stomach. It says ginger looks like the stomach. It aids in digestion. Has been used for centuries as a natural remedy for the stomach. According to the USDA, it is the strong taste, scent of the phytochemicals. Okay, that gives ginger its ability to prevent nausea and vomit. So this right here, like I said, ginger is for the stomach. Ginger for the summer.
And indigestion.
Indigestion.
It's a good one. Really, really good for indigestion.
Really good for indigestion. And so this is what we got to understand about letting your food be your medicine. Like these are the things that we have to understand about ourselves. Like I say, as it relates to what we allow into our body. Like, is what I'm putting into my body killing me or healing me? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Is what I'm putting into my body killing me or healing me? And we have to be real with it, because if you don't think like that and you just don't care about nothing like that, then you put yourself in a great position to come up with one of these diagnoses that are plaguing America, the top 5 diseases. And then you wonder why God, why did this happen to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can know how to prevent these things from happening to us. Go ahead, Mark. Grapes. It said grapes, especially heirlooms, Concord grapes, resembles the alveoli of the lungs. Of the lungs allow oxygen to pass from the lungs to the bloodstream. A diet high in fresh grapes has been proven to reduce the risk of lung cancer. Proven. Like, when you want to keep your lungs healthy, you want to make sure your lungs good. This is what you should be eating. There's some grapes, because grapes was designed specifically to keep the lungs healthy. It's not no pharmaceutical drug. We're supposed to be coming to nature for the answers to every sickness or disease that we have going on in our body. The cure is in nature. Now, you're going to go to them, and all they're going to do is treat you, because they don't want to cure you, because they want to keep you coming. They're thinking about that bank account. So they want to keep you coming. Well, just let me treat you. And then, you know, while I'm treating you for this, just be aware, because you might get this next. You know what I'm saying? So they can keep. These are facts. These are facts. But when we come to nature, we find the cure. And this is what I know personally, the journey that I've been on. Because it wasn't no Western medicine that healed me. It was God. It was God, the understanding how God, from aplastic anemia, came from me getting out of tune with God and God's plan for all of our life, not just mine. And so when I got to a place where I had to make that choice to return back to the natural way that God designed me to live in the first place, is where I found my healing. That's where I found my healing. If I were to continue within that Western medicine, I would not be standing right here right now. This is a fact. Like, this aplastic anemia, they was telling me it ain't no cure for it. Ask my mom. Everybody been saying, well, it ain't no cure for it. You know, we can try to give you a bone marrow transplant. That's probably not going to work. Look, get ready to die. You know what I'm saying? Look, get ready to die. That's what they was telling me. But it's through the understanding of this, and that's why I'm so grateful for aplastic anemia. Because I learned so much about myself and about God. God has taught me so much on what it takes to truly live a healthy life. To live a life void of all of this. I look at this how life is now. And all the people that are suffering right now, all over the world, is dying from all of these diseases right now. Little babies, his parents right now, baby dying right now. Like from this, like from one of these diseases. Like, when I sit back and think of that, like, how can, especially the people that that's sitting in this room right now, like, not take in, like, this information in a very deep and profound way? How can that not happen? How can that not happen? How can we not start thinking of how the way, or at least start reasoning about the way that we eat as it relates to the conditions that we deal with? You know what I'm saying? Like, how have we brought this upon ourselves? And then you can ask yourself the question whether or not you truly want to be healthy, or you just want to get strung along. Maybe you got, I don't know, like, people getting you know what I'm saying? Like, just struggle and not really deal with this. You know what I mean? So you don't have to live with a condition your whole life. Like, we wasn't designed to live with these conditions our whole life. The body is designed to heal itself. Period. Cut yourself right now. I ain't talking about sticks. I mean, cut yourself right now and see what the body is going to do. The body is going to begin the process of healing itself. The body was designed to heal itself. The only thing we have to do is give the body what it needs. The body said, give me what I need and I got it. Just give me what I need. But we're not giving our bodies what the body needs. And so that's why sickness continues. But we can change that. Like, look, y'all, I was given 4 months to live, yo. When I walked out of that doctor, when me and my wife made that decision, I was given 4 months to live. This aplastic anemia won't like, okay, I'm going to give you a little head start. I ain't going to affect you right now. Just run on down the road. You know what I'm saying? And then I kicked, that aplastic anemia was on the move. So, like, I had to hit the ground running. And, Mom, you remember that conversation we had when I was explaining to you about, like, how do you remember that conversation? You remember that? About me making the decision of trying natural medicine. How
you made the decision. You said told the doctor that he wasn't going to come back to the doctor. You made the decision and his wife was researching the disease and I kind of honestly panicked about it because I was a child. And all I could think of, this natural healing, I didn't know anything about it. But he chose the natural healing anyway. And one thing he told me, he said, Mom, I don't think, he said, God is giving me what it takes to take Maya went to school so she could learn about natural healing and herbs and things. And they researched this disease. He followed what God, the instructions God gave him and his wife. And he said he wasn't just taking what God said take. He took what God said and he decreed the word of God over his life. Yes. I'm not just taking herbs and not speaking the word of God over my life. He refused to go back to the doctor. When they took the herbs and they just went back for his checkup, his stuff was in place.
That's right.
The doctor didn't understand
how
his counsel, everything was in place.
True story.
Because of him and his wife's obedience to what God gave them.
True story.
His plate, everything. When he went back to the doctor said, take credit.
They ain't even understand. They ain't even understand.
That's a true
me and
story.
God understood and my wife.
Yes.
We understood. And I got to add this. I know you shouted me like, here you go. But I got to add this in. Now, a huge part of why I'm still here right now is the wife that I have. Now, let me add that in. The Bible says when a man finds a wife,
what it say?
He finds a good
What
thing.
it found?
This is my good thing right here. I want y'all to understand, because when this disease came back in full force, being pregnant, she worked full time, paid all the bills. She told me the only thing I want you to focus on is getting better. I don't want you to have to think about anything. This is how you know this is my good thing. Right? You know what I'm saying? While she was pregnant, worked full time, paid all the bills, went to school full time to study information to help me get better, made the dean's list. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of the family, and and then all this while she's pregnant for me. This is a superwoman right here. At the whole time, you know how a lot of times when a woman, they say when a woman step up, she's making all the money, like she kind of try to take, the man might have to step back a little bit, like in a man's position, you know what I'm saying? But at this whole time, I was still the king in the castle. If you know what I mean? Like she never tried to diminish me in any way. It was like all the bills that were getting paid, I was assisting in these bills getting paid. Like she never, you know what I'm saying? She always respected me as a man, you know what I mean? Not the fact that she was doing what she was doing on her own. Like she didn't take that feeling away from me. I still, because a lot of times that can get took from you when roads get switched up a little bit. You're like, I'm a breadwinner or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you what I'm saying, but all I'm saying is that, you know what I mean, I kept, she didn't come for that. She didn't come for that. She uplifted me. And then she had to find at home. We just called the midwife over and got it in. Called the midwife over, and then she had our baby. All this was going on in the midst of what I was doing. When I was going through, she provided me a place of peace to where the only thing I had to worry about was getting it. And then plus she was buying all my medicine. Plus she was buying all my medicines and the food. It's like she did everything. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's why nobody can never take your place in my life. Ever. Ever.
He's trying to make me cry. I don't know.
And then you have, like onions resemble the cells of the body. So onions tend to remove the waste accumulated in the body cells and are responsible for strengthening the immune system. It just shows how a body cell compares to an onion and how, the onion helps and assists the blood cell. Like these things are designed to go together. And so we have to understand how to eat. We have to know how to let food be our medicine. We have to understand this. Or we can eat at the devil's table every night. Devil, come on. Bring everybody. Bring everybody. You can be at the devil's table every night if you want to. It's up to you. But understand you've been led somewhere. It's taking you somewhere. You've been guided somewhere. How the Bible said, been led to the slaughter blind. You don't even recognize it. That you're heading to a slaughter. Like we see our family members and loved ones, even our little babies, like these diseases slaughter them. Like you can see a person looking healthy, and they get this cancer, and you got to sit back and watch them deteriorate. Y'all know that's being slaughtered. Food is doing it. In most cases, food is doing it. Good one. Okay, now we're gonna get into food colors. Like the colors of the food mean something. Write this information on, so but a few people right. It's all right. White food creates. White food is great for the immune system. So when you eat white food, you got to understand you're strengthening your immune system. So when you eat white food, like, and these are examples of white food. You know what I mean? So you buy these foods to understand like how you are taking care of yourself, like the benefits of how, like how is this going to assist in you being here? Okay, let me go out and get white foods. I know if I'm eating white food, I'm strengthening my immune system. This is how we got to think. This is reason. This is not acting like the animal. The animal drives down the road, smell that food coming out of wind, he's like, hey, get on in there. That's what the animal is going to do. But those of us that are using the cortex portion of our brain, the brain that God created to be dominant within the human being, we're going to be looking at stuff like this right here. This is how we're going to be analyzing what we eat. Like this right here. Okay, let me come out and give me some, you know what I mean? Like these different categories of white food. Oh, no.
Cauliflower,
Patty pan squash.
garlic, onions. I don't know what that is.
Yes. Yes. And so this is how we got the
Parsnips.
Right. Parsnips.
Okay. Go ahead, Mark. Green food. Green food's great for detoxification. So I know all of us should be eating a whole bunch of green food. And this is how we get the toxins out of our body. Because most of us have been eating food that are extremely toxic to the body. If these foods wasn't toxic for the body, then these epidemics of diseases that we're experiencing wouldn't be here. It wouldn't be here. And, you know, not as abundant as they are. But green food is what get all of those toxins out of the body. So when you think about green food, we're thinking about detox. Well, I know my body now, you know what I'm saying? Last week Thanksgiving, I know I ate a little bit wrong. Let me get to put something in my body that can help me get this junk out of my body, so to speak. But these are the foods that you think of, or the color of food that you think of as it relates to detoxing toxins out of your body. Green food.
Parsley, broccoli, cucumbers, zucchini, dill.
We got zucchini, Brussels sprouts, broccoli.
Yeah. But these ain't the only green foods now, y'all. I just got to get out there and look and do your research, and you know what I mean? That's all right. That's all we're supposed to be doing anyway.
We'll definitely have
to understand the variety of differences that we have out there that, you know what I mean, that we can utilize to bring about certain healing effects. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Mark. Mirage, you need to be paying attention. Paying attention. Yellow. Yellow is great for skin and beauty enhancement. You know what I mean? So this is just about, you know what I mean, it has a lot to do with appearance, like having healthy skin and just things like that, like to where you can make sure that your outer shell is looking good. You know what I'm saying? Beauty enhancement. You want to eat yellow food. Yellow food. Like, and this is the kind of food that keeps, like, especially how they say we grow old, like how they say we grow, like, gracefully, things like that. And this is how we ensure these things happen, that we grow old gracefully. But when we eat in ways that resemble the animal, then you're going to start seeing the body deteriorate. You're like, man, you ain't nothing 30 years old. Like, why you got a hand with a gray hair? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? You ain't nothing 30. Why you got it? This right here is like grape. Like, yeah, like squash, lemons, pineapples. Like, just get out there, man. Get out there, you know, sick this thing out. We're going to find more.
It's also good. It's also good for the stomach too.
You know what I mean? But what I really want us to understand, like, this is how we need to eat if we want to be living a life that's truly pleasing to God. We got to stop following the devil to roads of destruction. Yeah. It's the bottom line. High and alkaline, and like things about things like cancer, right? Cancer can only exist in a body that's acidic. Acidic. So when a person is developing cancer, most of the time it's a reflection of how acidic their body has become. Like that person has been eating nothing but primarily canned foods, food that has no life in it, junk food, mucus creating foods. Go ahead. Electric food. And above, food that have life in it. Exactly. That's what we have to be consuming. Food that has life, not dead food. If you're eating dead food, then that's what you're gonna get in some form of fashion. Like you can live a life just, you might be alive, but you got to take 20, 30, you know what I'm saying? All these pills you just got to take. It's the whole room. Like, who want to live a life like that?
And you in pain.
Pain. And then they start feeding you that medicine, bringing you on down, dropping that away, feeding you that medicine. Like, where are they taking you from? Now, we have to act like who is leading? Because we all know the devil is real, right? Like, this is what we have to, how we have to look at this. The devil is real. Who is guiding? Because mostly what's going on is that people are not thinking about for themselves, they're just following. That's why you got to do is run the commercial, let a person see it 4 or 5 different times. That person at the stove can get the stuff just running on the TV screen. Because that's what we do, we follow. And so we have to stop following the system because it's taking you somewhere that you do not want to go. The greatest trick of the devil, what they say, the devil performs to make the world think we don't exist. But when I look at this medical system, that's all I see. Because we got to sit back and watch our children and things like that, like suffer. Like, what is that? Like, we're watching our babies die, our loved ones are dying. You know, like families are getting ripped apart. And then they'll show you, and I'm trying to show you who's responsible for most of this. And like, why are we going to continue to accept this, especially in our individual life? Like, this is about us making choices as an individual, about the changes that we want to make in our life that we can start reaping, you know what I mean, help from, instead of sickness and disease. How we can start feeling better and feeling more like God, feeling more divine. Because the more life that you have in your body, the more alive you want to feel. And God made so that we might have life. And so this is what we have to understand. And understand how important what we put in our body is, not just for our personal self, but as it relates to God. How does God look at all this sickness? God, what is God saying? Well, look at my faithful servant can't get out the bed because God is saying it. God is not saying it. That's real though. I mean, God is not saying it. He's not happy about that. God is not happy about that. But it has become so normal, even the diseases that we live with. A person will live with high blood pressure their whole life, or heart disease their whole life, thinking it's normal, and thinking that they're going to be able to live their whole life with these conditions, die from these conditions, stand before God, and think God will say, "Come on." When God weighs the heart, right? God weighs the heart. Do you want to die with heart disease? If God is going to judge us according to what's in our heart, who in here wants to die of heart disease? And think you get ready to walk up into God's kingdom, especially after you know something. Now, how they say God take care of fools and babies? But see, y'all put yourself in a position because y'all are here listening to this. So now it's accountability now. It's accountability. Like, do you want to live a life that's pleasing to God? Okay, show God that you know how to do that. Show God that you can be in the world but not of the world. How I go? Show God that. Show God that you can have peace in the midst of storm. Show God that. Don't show God that you over here in the storm, suffering, yelling, screaming, you know what I mean? Don't show God that. Show God, God, I see your design. I see the path that you have laid, and I'm going to walk this path. And I'm like, this is what keeps us in that peace, in the midst of storms. Because of that narrow path that God speaks of. Not the broad one that leads to destruction. But most of us are on it and don't even know it. Most of us are on it every time we sit down at our dinner table and don't even know it. Don't even know it. But these are the things that we have to know. And this is what waking up is about. We have to wake up. We have to stop living like animals. God created us to be divine beings. We have to stop living like animals. Look at that orange food. Cancer prevention. Prevention. You don't want to have cancer. I ain't going to say this is all that it takes. But this is one way that you can ensure that you don't never get it. Eat these orange foods. Not cancer treatment. You know what I mean? Like the doctor, because the only thing the doctor going to do is treat you. He's not going to cure you. Because all he's going to do is treat you. He doesn't want to cure you. But guess what these orange foods do? They'll cure you. They will cure you. This is God. This is God. The other half of that is the devil. And so these are just purple food, longevity of life. Like that's what purple food does. It promotes longevity of life. You understand? Like if you want to live a long life, purple foods will help you get there. Purple foods will help you get there. Accomplish that. So you have to have purple foods as a part of your movement of life. It has to be a part of it. And then, red foods, that's going to be good for your heart. Circulation and things like that. It's like the blood is red. So you want to eat according to how nature designed. Like everything has a reason and a purpose. Like colors mean something. Colors mean something. The types of food, the shapes of food, like these things mean something. This is how God designed nature to communicate with us. Who's looking at something like a wall and they're like, hey, that looks like a brain right there, or a kidney bean. You know what I'm saying? Like these look like, so God is communicating to you through that. God is communicating to us through these things. All right? Do everybody understand this? It's simple. It's 1, 2, 3. It's simple. This stuff ain't complicated. Go ahead and do that. But these right here are dealing. Whoops. How does that mean? Wrong past that. Food and emotion. Food and emotion, right? It says, because understand, a lot of us are dealing with emotional attachments to food. We eat food like certain foods and we feel a certain type of way. Most times we won't even realize. But a lot of times we eat food according to a certain type of way that we're feeling, like our emotional attachment to what we're feeling. Like I said, like a woman being said, no man, but she bring me the ice cream and the cake. You know what I'm saying? Like that emotional attachment to that. And so impure food, which includes putrefied processed food, decreased thinking capacity. So the food that we're eating, and we wondering why our children running around like they ain't got no sick. And we're trying to figure this out. Well, why you act like you just can't think right? Like we think this is happening for nothing. But this says processed foods decrease thinking capacity, dulls the senses, and contribute to chronic mental illness. Food attacking the mind now. It's going beyond the body. It's going into the mind now. They accelerate the aging process and cause early death, nutritional robbing. Everyday people consume materials that have no nutritional value at all. These non-foods actually rob the body of vital vitamins and minerals, thus profoundly harming the mind and emotion. So now with food, they're going beyond the physical body. They're going into trying to control how you think and how you feel through the food that you eat. Like this is how real this is. And we wonder why, like sticking with children, for example, how you feel like, you know what I'm saying, our children act like they don't got no sense. But they spend all day eating candy, like all this dead food. But yeah, but this right here it shows how it's not just about making the mind, it's not just about making the body sick. They're trying to make you mentally sick with the food that you eat now. And we wonder why we can't think right. Why we always make bad decisions and choices and stuff like that. We're not thinking right. The food not letting us. The food not letting us think right. It's not letting us feel right about life. The food is doing, they know that. Remember, I showed what this food genetically, like it influence and affect us from a genetic level. So they're trying to change us from a genetic level outwardly. They're trying to turn us something other than what God, into something other than what God designed us to be. Through food. Pure foods, which consist primarily of fresh fruits and vegetables, are said to bring calmness and tranquility to the mind. And now we're getting close back to that peace that surpasses all understanding that God talks about. Peace that God talks about, and how food plays its part in that. Pure foods, which consist primarily of fresh fruits and vegetables, are said to bring calmness and tranquility to the mind. These foods are reputed to increase the clarity of mind and sweetness of disposition. All of a sudden, things ain't as bad as they used to be. Y'all know I'm getting, you know what I'm saying? Everything off. I know I ain't got the little bit of food in it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, things gonna be all right. That optimistic place. You know what I'm saying? The optimistic place, like pure foods guide you towards in that direction. They are especially recommended by those desiring spiritual growth and a meditative mind. So this right here, pure foods helps us. Pure foods helps us to grow spiritually. Why? Because pure foods helps us grow spiritually. Like we understand, right, that we eat these foods to bring more of the life force of God into our body. So we understand the more that we eat these foods, kind of foods, the closer that we come to God. The more clearly we understand who and what God is through the eating of these foods. The more we feel more like God, feel more godly getting up these days. Instead of getting up, you know how it is, getting up in the morning, just feeling like a lot of people get up like they're mad at life and stuff like that. Like people wake up with the worst attitude, like, you know what I'm saying, things like that, but don't understand what kind of role food is playing. But eating the right foods, you can get up with that joy because of the energy that you're putting in your body from the types of food that you're eating. The way that it makes you feel more alive. Instead of dulling you out when you can't even feel the fullness of yourself, you're not even acting like you're really supposed to be acting because of food. You're acting something other than who you really are. And food is doing that, and most people don't even recognize that. And to the point that you become something completely other than what God designed you to be. Food will take you down a whole nother road. But you think this is natural, you moving forward according to, you know what I mean, God's plan in your life. But how can that be possible? How can that be possible? You know what I mean, with the way that most of us are eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we say that we know God the way that, I know we all we have to wake up to come to the understanding of something. But when you come to when you know better, you're supposed to do better. Yeah. Let me just put it like that. When you know better, you're supposed to do better. Go ahead. Go ahead past that. And so now we're going to get into how emotions, go ahead, man, affect us. And so, remember, now, disease, the word disease is saying that the body is trying to be at ease or at peace, but we're not letting it be. And so, like, when you think of the body striving to be at peace, and then we understand these emotions that most people deal with constantly every day, these things are not peace. These things are not peace. So these are the things that tear our health down. Like these different emotions are the emotions that tear our health down. And then, like, this is beyond the food that you put in your body. Now we get into how you feel, stress, like how these things are stressing the body out. Now we know food stresses the body out, but let's get into how we feel. Stress stresses the body out as well too. Now anger affects the heart. Okay? Sadness affects the lung. We'll go more into it. I'm just running through this right quick. Fear affects the kidneys and the bladder. Like we know fear affects the kidneys. You run up, like I said before, like you run up on a dog or something, you scare that dog enough, where's that fear, what that dog want to do? Even a human being, you see a human being, they're afraid, oh God, I peed on myself. That fear directly affects the kidney. So I want you to see how your emotions affect your health. Because it's not about just the things that you're putting into your body that's going to determine whether or not you be healthy or not. It's about emotionally, like where you're at emotionally as well. Like, are you at peace and you're not? Because the moment that you step out of peace, then you're in a place of dis-ease. And disease will soon show up in a physical form in your body. Go ahead, man. The kidneys, right? Now, you see how, because a lot of people, I see people that's fearful, like, you know how you say scary people, like people you say group, you know what I mean? Like people are just people that life has them in a place of fear. The things that, you know, that some of us has to go to just to maintain and survive, a lot of times we be in a place of fear about what's going to happen next. And so once that body represents being afraid, then that's automatic. The only thing the body knows, okay, you're affecting your kidneys right now. You need to stop being afraid. You need to stop being in fear because you're tearing, you might not be well, but you're destroying your kidney from walking around in fear. You know what I mean? And so we can't live a life like that because we got to understand about being in fear. How does this affect me? And this is all knowledge of yourself. We got to understand how we feel as it relates to ourselves, how we eat as it relates to us being healthy, and how we think as it relates to us being healthy. Because all of this plays a part in our health. And you got to understand this on all levels. Now, after we have lived in fear most of our life, how does that affect in our kidneys? Then how does that show up in our behavior? Now, we got to understand about these organs. You know how let's say you built the car, right? You got to have different parts to come together to work, and a oneness for the car to be what it is, a car. You got to have with the engine, you got to have the nut, you know what I mean? You got to have all these different pieces that you got to put together for the car to run like it was designed for the creator, to, you know what I mean, for it to run. And so this is you know, and so it's the same way with us. Like these are our internal organs, or these are the things that allow us to live or operate like we're supposed to operate. Like when the kidney is damaged, now this is how you can look at a person. If you understand certain things, you can just watch their behavior and you can tell what's going on inside of them as it relates to health. Because when a person's kidneys is not functioning at its proper capacity to function, it's going to affect the person's willpower. You know how sometimes in life you got to have willpower to go through things. Life will break you down, but you got to have that thing to keep going. No, I'm going to keep going. Even though things look bad, I'm going to keep going. Even though this happened, I'm going to keep going. The energy that a person taps into that allows them to keep going in these type of situations that we have to dig deep in is your kidneys. Our kidneys allow us to tap into that willpower that'll keep us moving in the midst of whatever we're dealing with, oppositions or whatever. But when the kidneys is weak, like you don't have that in you. You don't have that in you. Like you don't have what it takes to keep moving when things get rough, or when the going gets rough. You don't have it in you to keep going. And that the kidneys is responsible for you having it. And so when we understand that aspect of how God designed us, then we can see what that, you know, even when you're raising your child, you can look at your child, like, see, I see my daughter or son gives up to eat. You know, like what's going on with that? Like it seems like that my child doesn't have the willpower to keep running the race when they didn't realize that she done lost or he done lost. Then you can start analyzing that, and you can start dealing with that child in a way that you know that will increase their willpower by doing things far as food-wise and other things that you know that will strengthen them far as in that aspect of themselves, the kidneys. And then when the kidneys are strengthened and operating properly and functioning like they're supposed to be functioning, then you'll see that person develop things like willpower. Because that's what willpower comes from. The kidneys produces that. It's all the design. God is our creator. But we don't even understand how we have been created. Or we're not even seeking to understand how our creator created us. You know why? Because we're so fascinated on what we create ourselves. That we have forgotten that we are a creation ourselves. And this is how we can get back to it. You know? But this is how the creator designed us to be. Like we have been put together, literally. And that's how we know we are a creation. Like these words I'm using, like these are different words that I got to put together in order to make a sentence, or different Letters I got to put in words in order to create a word. Everything is about different things working together to create a oneness. A oneness. And so like these are the different, some of the different, the kidneys, the liver, like these are things that God has put together for us to live and operate. So we have to understand these components of ourselves. The liver, like when a person has a weak liver, that person is going to have a poor imagination. So like if we're dealing with even like our children and stuff, or just us, like, like you can have you can have an idea about something, but your imagination is not strong enough for you to see how this thing can go. Even though it's a good idea, but you got to be able to see how this good idea can become a reality. And so if you have a poor liver system, you ain't gonna have that ability. To have a great imagination comes from having a healthy liver. Like this is not me, this is God. Like this is how God designed us. Poor visionary, you just can't figure nothing out. Like you can't think long term. Like because your kidneys ain't right. You don't understand, you just think that's how you are. Or, you know what I mean? Or your children, like, you know what I mean? You just got like my child just got a poor imagination. I guess he was born like that, but it's not like that. We got to understand why their imagination is poor, so we can do the things that we need to do to correct it, that we need to do in order to correct that. In order to correct it, but we don't understand ourselves, and we're not going to never understand how to heal ourselves, and then we're going to always find ourselves at the mercy of a beast. And that's all. I don't know no other word to use. I don't know no other word to use. Of a beast that don't care, that want to see you sick and suffer. You don't think cancer can be cured? AIDS, you don't think all these things don't have a cure for them? All these things will cure. I can tell you a doctor right now, Dr. Say, can cure just about any diseases you can think of. AIDS, all that. They know AIDS can be cured. They don't want to cure. There's no money in it. There's no money in it. And see, like we have to understand this, because when we understand it, hopefully we will make the right decisions moving forward to be truly pleasing to God. Okay, the heart. Like when a person's heart system is not right, that person is not going to, not able to get along with others, antisocial, lack of zest for life, lack of passion in that intimate relationship, lack of warmth in social relationships. Like we know people like this, man. People that don't get along with nobody, don't want to deal with nobody. Like we know people don't got zest for life, just want to stay around in the house all day. Like, get up, get out the house. You know what I'm saying? But no, like this is this shows you where healing needs to take place. Where healing needs to take place. When you see a person that has these type of behaviors, like oh man, like you got to strengthen your heart. You have to strengthen your heart because you should have a zest for life. The lungs, emotional people. You know what I mean? Difficulty in thinking within an established model. In other words, you know how an emotional person, how they can explode and just, you know what I mean, just blow everything up around them. Like if somebody has a system or a plan, you're supposed to operate within this established model. An emotional person most of the time ain't gonna be able to do that because they're too emotional. They're too emotional. And so we got to understand that shows that this person has an issue with their lung system. Like this is how this has been designed. Like these are the things that we're supposed to know about ourselves, so we can diagnose our own self or diagnose our own family and our own children instead of taking them to a beast. Like this is the knowledge we're supposed to have. We're supposed to know how to heal our children. The only reason we need to go to somebody else is because we don't understand it ourselves. These are the things that we're supposed to understand. And that way, because how the Bible said, what child that you have that needs some water or something, you're going to give them some water. That's what the doctor doing. You need nutrition and help. Instead of him giving you nutrition and help, he's giving you poison. He's giving you poison. He's not giving you what you need. He's giving you what you don't need. Well, then what? Are we wanting to know? Ain't much, Go ahead.
No.
Yeah, that's a nice picture.
What you trying? What are you looking for? I don't know. That's all I have.
Huh?
That's it.
That's it. Oh, see this? Okay, this is some of the issue that we had this month. What was the other one? What did you put the other one at? Because, but yeah, and like in a nutshell, what I want to say about this is that God is not pleased with us being sick and dying like it's normal, y'all. God is not pleased with that. God is not behind that. God don't have anything to do with that. God is not the author of confusion. I'm sorry. God is not the author of confusion. And when you go into that medical facility, that's all that's in there. It's confusion. Because people don't even understand, themselves. That's why they wind up in there. So that shows you that's confusion. And the doctor, the medicine that they give you is going to be a medicine created out of confusion and disorder. That's why when you put it in your body, it's going to do that in the body. So if this is not of God, like how long are we going to continue to put our health and our well-being in a medical system that obviously is destroying us, that obviously don't care anything about you, that obviously don't have any compassion for your condition or your situation? They'll sit back and let a baby die if you don't got that money. Don't have that money in the hospital, you dead. That's what it's about. So, like, why would we continue to follow this? Because when I say follow, they're how to say, experimental new drugs for all heart patients or cancer. Come and try this new, and then you go and try it. And it's instead of being baited, like it's taking us somewhere. Like, where is this taking us, y'all? We have to get off of this broad road of destruction, and we have to get back on this straight and narrow path that God has laid, that few shall find. I want to be one of the ones that find. And I just come to share this because I was on that broad road. When I didn't know these things, I was at the mercy of these doctors, man, and they was butchering on me. Like, it was crazy. Like, they butcher on us. Like, they actually, when you go see a doctor, you go to a doctor's medical practice. They practice on us. They don't know what they're doing. But this has been so deeply ingrained in us that we're afraid to do anything else or try anything out of fear. This doctor gotta be right because he done went, got his little degree and he come in there in his all white little suit on, so he got to know what he's talking about. But the whole time he's prescribing death, and he knows it. He knows it. And I just wanted to just show the difference between the path that we should be walking as sons and daughters and children of God versus the one that if we stay on that path, leads to our destruction. This medical system, this Western medicine will always lead to our destruction. And that is not the path that we want to be on. We want to be on that straight and narrow path that leads to everlasting life and eternity and paradise one day eventually. But how many of us are truly on that path? And that's the question that we have to ask, because you can see for yourself by look at how you live. Look at how you live. Like, look at the things you consume in your body. Look at the drugs you put in your body. Look at the diseases that you just settling for. They're just saying, I have to live with this. And see what path that you are on. Are you on the straight and narrow? And I'm here as a witness because, like I say, I was on that straight and narrow path. I mean, that broad path. But then God put me on the straight and narrow path. Because, whenever I made that decision to change my lifestyle in the way that I changed it, it took so many other things out of my life. Like, the multiple things that people just bouncing all over the place in the day, living your life any kind of way. Like, you don't have no code, like you don't have no system, like you're not on no path. You're just all over the place. That broad place. But when you're on that straight and narrow path, there's certain steps you got to take every day to keep you in alignment to where it is that you know where it is you know you need to be headed to. We need to get off of this broad road that leads to destruction that the Bible talks about and get on this straight and narrow path that leads to life, and not just life, but life more abundant. We have to get back on that path, y'all. And this is what I want to come to express, because I'm a living witness through what proper eating, proper diet, like proper thinking, proper emotions, how that can heal, how that heals. Because you imagine when that doctor told me that I only got 4 months to live, my mind could have went to a very dark place. That my mind, when I did that, would have been over just like that. Because that's what normally do. You know how a person seems healthy, good, living everyday life, and go get some type of diagnosis, you see that person go quick. It's the mind, the things that they think begin to take over. Like fear begins to set in of death or just whatever they're dealing with. And then the mind speeds that process up rapidly, take you in the direction of the fear that's going on in your mind of the diagnosis that you just got. That could have been me. And that doctor told me I have 4 months. But I didn't allow my mind to go into that fear place, because if I would have did that, I wouldn't be. And that's why I can tell you how important our thinking is, and like in the way that we feel about ourselves. Like even when it comes to these, the diseases that we already got diagnosed with, we don't have to continue to live with these things, And that's the message that I want to bring. Like we don't have to continue to live with these things. Like, and God is not happy with that. God is not happy. Like, and God, you know what I'm saying? Like, God is not happy. That's all I want to say about it. And like, if you truly want to live a life that's pleasing to God, this right here has to be a major part of it, because this is how we show God that we're great. God, thank you for these beautiful apples that's growing out there in my yard. I just thank you for that pretty headed cabbage. I can go get, you know what I'm saying? Like, God wants us to be grateful, because when we consume these things, it benefits us. It keeps us healthy and strong. So this is where the gratitude comes from, that we're supposed to have as it relates to the food that we eat, because we can see God's design behind it, and God's thinking, and God's plan for our life. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Like, we understand that now, why it's important to eat apples, tomatoes, like all of these things, and for what reason we're eating them. And then it causes us to become closer to God. Because we're like, man, look at God. Look at the mind of God. I'm in awe of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful for, you know what I mean, your wisdom, God. I'm grateful. Like, let me consume God's wisdom. Give me that apple. It's God's wisdom. You know what I mean? Make me that salad. That's God's wisdom. Give me that cup of water. This is God's wisdom. Not busting open that Coca-Cola all over the place. That's not God's wisdom. That's not God's wisdom. So who wisdom is it if it ain't God? Come on. How long are we going to follow the devil? The devil is trying to guide us to hell, y'all. How long? Most people don't even understand that's where they follow. And that the devil is guiding somewhere. And I guarantee you, where you wind up, you ain't going to like it. But we don't have to be on that road. We do not have to be on that road. And that's what I just want to come and share with y'all. And I just hope the people that did show up understands this. Like the changes that we know we have to make in our life. We have to make, because if we continue on this journey, then like it's already did. Like, how much worse can it get? Until like we wake up, how much worse do we gotta get? We're watching our babies die. How much worse do we gotta get before we have that epiphany that the choices that we are making, like the choices and decisions that we are making, as it relates to food, that we're responsible for our own self. And then we pass these things down genetically to our children. Passing down to our children. The next thing, your children just born with disease because of what the parent ate while she was pregnant with the child. And we're just passing these curses down. And we got to quit that, y'all. Like it sounds like it's really time to wake up, y'all. Help us well. Help us well. Right. And I battled a lot. I went through a lot of different obstacles, man, to even be able to present this the way that I presented it right now. This was supposed to go totally different. I got through in a different kind of space, and it kind of threw me off as it relates to having to do this, because this was supposed to look a different kind of way. But it didn't wind up like that.
Everything says it should.
Yeah, it didn't wind up like that. So I'm just carrying on. You know what I mean? I just hope this information helps somebody in some type of way, because this is the information that saved my life. Like, I was supposed to have been dead already, sleeping in my grave probably about 6-7 years ago. But God. But God, I'm still here. And I'm just sharing this with y'all. And I hope y'all are listening. Hope y'all are listening. Like, this is not pleasing to God, y'all. Like, we don't want to die suffering. Like, we want to go graceful. You know what I mean? It's where the transition is made smooth. We didn't want to die locked up somewhere on the bed like this, like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to be that. It does not have to be that. We're choosing that. But we're choosing that. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be that. Like, we see people leaving this
so animated.
Like, people leave this suffering. It don't have to be there. Like, let's get back to going old gracefully. And then, you know, one night we go to sleep and smiling like an angel. Next thing you know, we on the other side. We want to go like that. Yeah. Not suffer. Like, this is the devil. This is how the devil is taking people out. Like, we have to stop following the devil. We have to stop following the devil in the name of God. Thanking God for the prescription drugs and poison. Thank you, God. If you want for this medicine, like then you throw that in your breath. You know what I'm saying? God don't have nothing to do with that medicine you put in your body. I'm sorry. God ain't got nothing to do with it. God already prepared medicine for us before we even got it. The medicine was here. You have to let your food be your medicine. But God give you free will, okay. Now, how dumb is you going to be because you're sitting there watching the commercials, but they're telling you if you eat this, one of your feet might fall off. Or you might go to bed at night with a head full of hair tomorrow and wake up bald head. Tomorrow, the next day, like we seeing this. And then we still choose because they got somebody in the commercial smiling while they rambling off all of these curses. And then they got somebody smiling, running through a meadow in the sun. You think this is right for you? You know how the commercial works. Contact your doctor. Come on, like, it's right here in your face, and that's why I understand why God said, okay, my people got eyes, but they not seeing. They got ears, they sit back and they listen to the commercial, and they'll run off 20 different side effects, and then they'll say, this is not all of them, but I guess they don't got enough time to run off. They got enough time to run through it off even all the side effects. And then we'll listen to that, and at the end of the doctor, if you think this is right for you, go see your local, and then we at the local physician. I saw this commercial. What? Right. Did you see the commercial? Yeah. Because if we saw the commercial, you would not be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come on, y'all. Like, we're not saying, but now it's time to see. Like, we have to turn back. Nature is God's wisdom. God is the architect of nature. And so what has happened, we have become, like God is the architect of nature, but we have become something unnatural. We have become more like machines. We think we act mechanically. Like, we don't think like it's just mechanical acting. Get up, do this, get up, do, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not thinking. It's not natural anymore. And so we have to get back to our natural minds and understand that we are here with nature. Nature sustains us. The water that we drink sustains us. The fresh air that we breathe. The nutrients and the vitamins that the body needs. These things that nature provides. Things of earth that we need in our body. And we have to start putting it back in our body. And the reason why we are getting sick because we are deficient in these things in our bodies. And so now you have a disease. So if you want to combat that and eventually overcome it, you have to start just giving the body what it needs. We have to come back to nature. It's simple. But how many of us are going to do it? How many of us are going to do it? How many of us are going to really sit down and look at this thing like, wow, I need to make some changes in my life. How many of us are going to really sit down and think like that? You know what I mean? Or just overlook this and, you know, get back on the road with the devil. Let's go, devil. You know what I'm saying? Where you taking me to? Because I heard it was hell. I heard it was hell. Why would you want to go in that direction? And we know it's leading you there for people to do that do not care, or a system that does not care anything about you. They just want your money. They'll kill your baby. They'll kill your wife, your husband. They'll kill anybody. Give me that money. And they love the fact that we're ignorant, because that's the only way this can be perpetuated. And we're ignorant of our own selves. So the moment that we correct the ignorance of our own selves, we snatch their power. We snatch their power. So this is about snatching their power. We have to do that. We have to do that, because if we don't, they have a destination in store for us. And I'm going to say it again, that you're not going to like it when you get there. We don't want to live a life being sick. Just don't settle for sickness, y'all. Don't think it's normal. Don't think it's natural. Don't think this is just a way of life. You're born here, you might get cancer, you might get, this is just normal, go get your pills and just keep on going. It's not that. Like, we have to understand that God wants us to be healthy. But until we're healthy in our minds, we're not going to be healthy in our bodies. How do we get healthy in our minds as it relates to eating? It's through the knowledge of how we're supposed to eat. Like, you can see a person and the choices that they make, and you can see how healthy that person's mind is. I don't care what they act like. They can come and act like they got it all together. But then you look back and see what kind of choices that they make. You don't really know nothing. You don't really know nothing, because if you knew something, then you would be thinking, your behavior will show that, you know what I mean, your wisdom. You know what I'm saying? But then we'll pray over this dead this plate full of just dead food and talk about God, let this be for the nourishment of them. Pray over that dead. God has already provided the food for us that is for the nourishment of our bodies. It's called fruits and vegetables, healthy food. But we'll have a whole table full of death coming from the devil and pray over that and like, God bless this food and let it be for the nourishment of my bodies. God looking at us like we crazy. He really is, because God said, I already been blessed the food for your health and for the nourishment of your body. I did that on like the first 6-7 days. That was done. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all, I'm just pretty much kind of just rambling right now. I ain't want to ramble all night, but listen, y'all, health is surely wealth, man.